Hello everyone and welcome to the Africam show. Yes, very exciting stuff because we're starting off here at town. We have an elephant, a nice big bull that's around these impala. If this is the first time that you're joining us for the Africam show, welcome on board. This is an opportunity for the next half an hour for us to go through all the different cams and for you to ask any questions that you have or to give me some comments, like perhaps how you're enjoying the Africam show today. I am enjoying it with a nice cool glass of water because though it was overcast and slightly cool in the morning here in town, it's finally gotten nice and sunny. And summer is well and truly upon us. Most of Southern Africa, I must say. Cape Town is usually the spot that collects summer at the very end, but this time it's come early. We've got some beautiful weather, and that goes for pretty much all our locations this afternoon. Now, this particular reserve, so Tau is in Madikwe, and they haven't, at least it doesn't seem like they've gotten a whole lot of rain. Things are still looking quite dry, although I must say that where this elephant is eating at the moment, I don't remember it being very green before, so maybe they have gotten some rain since then. And this elephant bull is really enjoying all the greenery. Now towards the end of the dry season, things can get a little hairy in the bush because everyone is battling for resources. And even though the herbivores are so numerous, but in little ways they avoid direct competition. Whether it's height, whether it's browsing, grazing, mixed feeders, they avoid little bits of competition. But towards the end of the dry season, resources become so limited that everyone gets a little cranky. That's why I like now that the wet season is upon us, there's a lot more to go around. Zygote, you say hi Trishala, namaste to you too, Zygote. Bridget McKinney, you say hi Trishala, hi Bridget. April Owl, you say good morning from a sunny Connecticut. You've got raspberry tea. Oh, very nice. Is it iced tea? Then I totally agree. And I didn't mean to rhyme. And you say that you're looking forward to the show. Great. Dear NC, you say good morning from Seattle. You're happy to be here with your coffee. You know, I knew I was going to do something. I was meant to have coffee today during the show just to join all of you. Everyone's having coffee. Bridget McKinney, you say you'll be leaving early to take the dog to the vet for surgery. Oh no. Well, we really, all of us really do hope that your dog has a successful surgery and everything goes well and that it feels much better afterwards. Sending best wishes to you and your dog, Bridget. Jirel, you say hello and you're, yes, enjoying dark roast while waiting for me and what's up on Africam. We've already started off quite nicely. Beautiful elephant bull enjoying some branches there. Timber Grace, you say good morning from cloudy and chilly Minnesota. You've got a Diet Coke today. Oh, very nice. And you're ready for a great show. Ambico, you say happy Tuesday to all. And thank you to Trish for being here. My absolute pleasure. Oh, Kelly, you say, hi Trish, Kelly near London, preferred to watch the show rather than leave the computer and get a drink. You were meant to get the drink beforehand, but I totally agree with you. Absolutely. Bob from Kalamazoo, you say, happy Tuesday, Trish, you've got your Diet Coke in hand. Woo! All that variety. Much like what we're going to see across the cams. And we moved across. Lovely. We're here at Old Donyo now. And we've got some zebra enjoying the waterhole. You can see it's looking quite cloudy up here as well. And the water at the waterhole looks quite nice. Looks like it's filled up. Now the levels of the waters across most of the pans, I should say, or dams that our cameras are situated near, most of them, not all of them, those water levels are controlled by the management of that game farm or that reserve or sometimes even that lodge. And that means that the majority of them are man-made, and they're fed through boreholes or pipes. And oftentimes, those people that are managing those water holes will try to mimic the natural rhythm of that particular area. So if it's a dry season, they might let it dry up a little bit more, and then once the wet season rolls in, they'll pump it up a little more as well. Lagomorphophobic, you say, hello everyone. Hello, thank you for joining us. Just in time. We've already seen some pretty epic animals. Started off with that nice elephant bull. Here we've got a giraffe and some zebra. Rebecca J. Polling, you say, morning all from West Virginia. You've got your coffee in hand. Lovely to hear it. And what are all of you looking forward to most now that the bush is starting to really change? In most of the areas, I mean, the temperatures have really just flipped. It's like you flip a switch. It doesn't slowly build up. It's like, oh, you're moving from a high of 22 degrees Celsius to suddenly it's 40 degrees Celsius in those areas. And we're a little bit stuck here. Sure, it'll sort itself out, and we'll move over to another cam. There we go. Nice one, hold on you. So it's a time when things start to get nourished, resources become abundant, and it can become a little bit more difficult for us when it comes to viewing at the cams, because the cams are positioned by water holes. But it still means that we can expect a little bit more variety and maybe see some things we don't see the rest of the year. So what are you looking forward to most now that the rainy season is getting closer and closer and closer? Now for me, I am really looking forward to seeing some dung beetles. I haven't seen dung beetles in a long time. We're over to Oliphant's River now, and we've got some baboons up close and personal. This one on the left looks like it's meditating a little bit. Eyes are nice and low. So I'm looking forward to the abundance that comes with the rainy season. But the bush also becomes so much more lush that getting a view like this of baboons, something clear where we have a gap, becomes increasingly difficult. But at the same time, okay, there's just too many things I'm looking forward to. One of the things I'm really looking forward to seeing dung beetles. I feel like I haven't seen a dung beetle in way too long. Also really looking forward to the sound. At night there's this hum, this constant buzz. There was one other thing I was looking forward to all the babies. Lagomorphophobic, you just said the same thing. You say you're looking forward to all the babies. Yep, exactly. Speaking of, here's a little troublemaker. This is not a baby, but a youngish individual. I feel like everybody who has children knows this exact interaction. Mindy Telepow, it's so nice to hear your name. It's been a while. Or am I just not remembering properly? You say, hello Trish, your cheery voice is helping me through your crappy work day. I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, we're here for you. And so are all the animals. Rolling Trouble, you say hello all from Washington. Oh, Jarell, that's a good one. Jarell, you say you're looking forward to Monty making an appearance again. It would be nice if we could together go over to Rosie's Pan and just investigate. Maybe we'll be lucky. We can do that a little bit later. Zygote, you're just listening to all the wonderful birds, and it's only going to get even more diverse. The last time I was in the bush, about a month and a bit ago, I was really lucky that I had seen Um, I'd been hearing the classes cuckoo, and then I finally got to see it and put it on camera, which was very, very special. Oh, look, a tiny, tiny baby. Legomorphophobic. We're getting babies sooner than we expected. Now, baboons don't have a breeding season. They can breed year-round, and that goes for the majority of the larger antelope as well. Kudu, Nyala, for example, they don't have a breeding season. But what tends to happen, just because of the availability of resources, is that the majority of youngsters tend to be born towards this time of the year. But that doesn't have anything to do with the breeding season. It more has something to do with the fact that there are resources available. And that also means that mums are better fed, healthier, and they're able to reproduce more easily. Mindy Tillapau, you say dung beetles are your favorite. Yes, I can't wait for it. Have we even seen our first dung beetle on the cams yet? That would be lovely. Goodness, I love them. Hours and hours of entertainment. Oh, absolutely, Kelly. You say you're already enjoying the green beauty of the surroundings like the Nomad vehicle. That's such a precious cam because it allows us to really see different areas and the way that the bush has changed and grown. Karu, you say you're hoping to see the violet-backed starling's nest and you want to see them feed the chicks again at the starling tree at Naledi. I've heard about this only because of all of you in the Boma chat sometimes. I remember at one point you were chatting about it, but I have not seen it myself. And you say you love that starling, it's your favorite, and the male is beautiful. Yes, back starling is absolutely stunning. And that kind of mauve, obviously it's called violet backed, but it's kind of like a, well, it depends, it's iridescent as well. So the tone of the mauve or the violet changes with the light. Absolutely beautiful. I think much like many of us, these baboons have seeked out the shade, or sought out the shade. There we go. And it reminds me very much of ourselves when we're out, especially during the summer, when we think that, oh, it looks so lovely outside, and then we decide to go to the beach and realize that there's no shade, and then, oh my goodness, you've forgotten an umbrella. This was me a couple weekends ago. I got too excited because the sun was out in Cape Town. It was actually like 27 degrees Celsius. But even though we are able, like all mammals, to regulate our body temperature, much like these baboons right now, it doesn't mean that we can sometimes push the limits. And sitting out in the getting warmed up over a long period can really, really not make us feel well. And just like that, these baboons have to seek out some shade. And they've also got that tiny little one having a bit of a suckle. Oh, I hope we're going to get a good view. Oh, I feel like I've done that exact thing. That baboon looked just like me for a moment there. Did you see it flick its wrist back and then scratch its forearm? I feel like that was very, very human-like. It was eerie. Zygote, you say you've already heard a Levailance cuckoo, a Jacobin, a Classes, a Diederik, a black, and a red-chested cuckoo. Oh yes, all of them are going to be out and about. It's so nice to be able to hear those cuckoos again. And that's what I was chatting about earlier, and that I was lucky to and see the Classes cuckoo last time I was in the Sabi Sand. Also got to see the Wahlberg's eagles. Like I managed to get there at a time where everyone seemed to be coming back. Lagomorphophobic, you say there are already a few hartebeest babies at Tau. Oh, that's lovely. Look at this mama falling asleep here. Oh, this looks so peaceful. I could go for a nap with these guys. Definitely. Zygote, just thinking about the cuckoos that you're talking about and the classes cuckoo that I was talking about. Um, what's interesting is that we know that they're inter-African migrants, so we expect to see them towards the rainy season. But here in the Western Cape, where I am, you get classes cuckoos year round, which I think is quite interesting. In fact, I was hearing one just now, but I was hearing them in June as well. Oh, there we go. We have moved over to Stony Point now in the Western Cape, where I am. It's about 90 kilometers away from where I'm sitting right now. And we have some dassies or rock hyraxes busy enjoying some dune spinach. That's the green growth that you see at the edge there, which is edible for us too. I am guilty of eating dune spinach. Oh, so cute. Now there was one towards the right, but it's looking quite contrasty at the moment. Obviously, the sun is coming through in certain spots, and then the other parts are quite shadowy. Oh, did you see that? It's a lizard just jumping about in front of that hyrax. So there was a dassie towards the right that was rolling around as well. Very sweet. Oh, everyone's coming to join the party. This is also a nice time because it's around this time that the penguins that we see here at Stony Point return from their hunting expeditions. If we're lucky enough, we might see some of them coming back to shore. I often wonder what they think of the penguins, whether they're just another neighbor, whether they think they're a bit odd. And when you think about the animals that, Stony Point doesn't have a whole lot of biodiversity in terms of animals, or megafauna, I should say, those large animals, so not including insects and things like that. But the ones that stand out are obviously cormorants, the African penguins, the dassies, and the Egyptian goose, or Egyptian geese. And they kind of seem like odd, an odd collection to be all together, but they managed to do it. All right, we're looking over to the beach now. Oh, and of course, seagulls. It's a nice kelp gull, huge kelp gull. So at this time of the day, I expect to see some penguins coming back, and that's because penguins rely mostly on their eyesight to be able to hunt. And when the sun starts to set, that gets significantly reduced. So they're only able to hunt her out during the day, that is, when the sun is out. And that's also quite nice because you can rely on them to come in and out, and you know when to go in to have a look. Now, in the morning's probably the best time because before they go out, they have a whole ritual down to the beach, grooming, kind of testing the water. But no penguins right now. Did see a cormorant? There's another cormorant over there on the left, and then we've got that massive kelp gull, which are a little intimidating, much like guinea fowl when they start alarming. Here we have a nice group of them, and two giraffe back at Old Donyo. The zebra, This is not a zebra, Trishala, this is a giraffe. The giraffe said, Aldonia, we've spoken about it before, that they are Maasai giraffes. They seem to have a very golden appearance, which is absolutely stunning. But you can also see, or one of the identifying features, it's generally accepted that the Maasai giraffe is the largest of all giraffe species and subspecies. But the way that you can, apart from looking at the geographical region and their distribution, another way to kind of differentiate them from the other giraffes is looking at their pattern. Their patterns, or each one of those blotches, the darker blotches, tend to be kind of more frayed looking at the edges. Kelly, you say those baby duckies move incredibly quickly. Yes, they do, and not just the babies. I mean, the babies more so, but duckies in and of themselves, they move really quickly, and they're very nimble as well on those rocks. But they have nice padded feet that allow them to move in that way. You saw just how loose that top lip was, or is, when she moved her head like that. And it just kind of went roll at the top. Now, helmeted guinea fowl, though they are noisy and can be a little bit annoying, and are very numerous, and they do alarm at anything and everything, they can also be a little reliable. And they're a great bird to listen out for when you know that there's a predator in the block, but you've kind of lost them and you're not sure where to go next. You're not sure if they've turned, if they've moved straight through. They're an excellent bird to listen out for. Switch your car off and just have a listen at what the birds are doing. And guinea fowl are very good at giving you an indication of a threat. They may not be the one I'd listen for if I'm just trying to find an animal, like, you know, out of the blue, like I would, or give the attention to it as I would give my attention to a kudu alarm calling. But when you're in a block and you've lost a leopard that you are following, for example, they're a great bird to give you an indication of the next place to go and look. Giraffes can also be really helpful in that regard. Now, they don't make too much sound, at least not sound that we can hear. But if you see it standing very still and staring off in one direction, it's worth having a look. Gosh, they gave that giraffe a little bit of a jolt, and off it went, kicking up dust. Is that an eland I see? Yes. Emerging from the dust cloud that the giraffe made, which looked very intimidating. I thought that would have been an elephant coming through from the side, but no. It couldn't have been this eland that spooked them. It was too far away. Anyway, now we are back at Tau, and we have what looks like a very sleepy warthog down on his wrists and eating. Now, this warthog doesn't look in great condition. If you look at the back half, you can see that he could definitely do with some more food. He's sunken in by the hips there. And again, this is how it is towards the end of the dry season. Remember that warthogs are sort of mixed feeders in the sense that they are eating grass, they're eating tubers, they're eating rhizomes, things that they can dig up. Occasionally they might even eat some carrion and eggs. And at this time, even though we see some green foliage on the trees, there's not much happening on the ground for them. But like with everything, in the bush at least, they're used to periods of feast and periods of famine. And it is amazing how quickly the condition of animals improve once some good vegetation comes in. And suddenly everybody's in fantastic condition again. So though he may look a little bit gaunt, hopefully in the next few weeks he will pick up condition. Becky WV, you say a zoo close to you had a baby giraffe. Oh, that's very, very sweet. Mindy Tillapau, you were asking about the guinea fowl. You'd like to know if they are ground nesters. Yes, they are. They nest in a shallow scrape on the ground, and it's usually concealed under grass or like inside a bush, you know, at the base of a bush. Unlike other ground nesters, for example, a blacksmith lapwing that doesn't conceal their scrape. But helmeted guinea fowl, they will nest on the ground, and they'll try to conceal it in some way with like a bush. Shame, I'm just looking at what this guy is eating and there's just so little. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of energy. Now we know that over closer to where this camera is mounted, there's a lot of green grass close to that area. And I'm sure he could get there, but probably also is very wary of getting stuck in the mud, and it is very muddy and you can get bogged down in that area. But I hope that he does move kind of to the edges so you can at least get some of that grass, because he doesn't look great. But again, that's how it is, and like I said, the condition will improve in a short period of time once food does become more available. Just having a look, I can see that it's trying to figure out if it has just one tusk or if it's just the angle, and when it turned its head you can see it's still got the other tusk, it's just broken. Yep, there we go. I mean, maybe it's an old. I mean, it looks like it's been through a bit. Warthogs can live to about 10, 11 years. Some even say a little more, towards 15 years or so. But if you're going to ask me how to age a warthog, I'm going to have to tell you, I have no idea. When it comes to aging warthogs, once they reach a point where you can see their tusks, it's really, really difficult. And you get some individuals that look young and in good condition, but they have massive tusks. And other ones that look like they're, you know, long in the tooth, but they're not actually long in their tooth, because, you know, tusks are just modified teeth. Did you see what I did there? Did you love it? Thank you. So it's very difficult to judge. But we hope the best for him. Something to keep in mind, though, if you're thinking about identifying features, left tusk, nice and long, right one is broken. For these smaller animals, you don't often get to find identifying features, so this is really nice. Hopefully we can keep tabs on him. Okay, and we're back at El Doño, just so we could have a nice, happy, beautiful scene in time for us to say goodbye. The time has gone by so quickly. Thank you all so much for joining us. It's a pleasure as always, and I hope that we all get those things that we were looking forward to now that the wet season and summer is well and truly upon us. Dung beetles, babies, more birds, Monty, all of those wonderful things to look forward to. And yeah, as we go through the cams over the next couple months, things are going to change, and I can't wait. So thanks everyone for joining us. I hope that you have a bigger smile on your face and your day is going a little bit better now that you managed to escape into the African bush for a little bit. But now it's time to say bye. Bye-bye.